Marijuana is the name given to the dried buds and leaves of varieties of the cannabis sativa plant, which can grow wild in warm and tropical climates throughout the world and be cultivated commercially. It goes by many names, including pot, grass, cannabis, weed, hemp, hash, marijuana, ganja, and dozens of others. Marijuana has been used in herbal remedies for centuries. Scientists have identified many biologically active components in marijuana. These are called cannabinoids. The two best-studied components are the chemicals delta-9-tetrahydrocannabinol, often referred to as THC, and cannabidiol, CBD. Other cannabinoids are being studied. At this time, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, lists marijuana and its cannabinoids as Schedule I controlled substances. This means that they cannot legally be prescribed, possessed, or sold under federal law. Whole or crude marijuana, including marijuana oil or hemp oil, is not approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, for any medical use. But the use of marijuana to treat some medical conditions is legal under state laws in many states. Dronabinol, a pharmaceutical form of THC, and a man-made cannabinoid drug called nabilone are approved by the FDA to treat some conditions. Marijuana. Different compounds in marijuana have different actions in the human body. For example, delta-9-tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, seems to cause the high reported by marijuana users, and also can help relieve pain and nausea, reduce inflammation, and can act as an antioxidant. Cannabidiol, CBD, can help treat seizures, can reduce anxiety and paranoia, and can counteract the high caused by THC. Different cultivars, strains or types, and even different crops of marijuana plants can have varying amounts of these and other active compounds. This means that marijuana can have different effects based on the strain used. The effects of marijuana also vary depending on how marijuana compounds enter the body. When taken by mouth, such as in baked goods, the THC is absorbed poorly and can take hours to be absorbed. Once it's absorbed, it's processed by the liver, which produces a second psychoactive compound, a substance that acts on the brain and changes mood or consciousness that affects the brain differently than THC. When marijuana is smoked or vaporized, inhaled, THC enters the bloodstream and goes to the brain quickly. The second psychoactive compound is produced in small amounts, and so has less effect. The effects of inhaled marijuana fade faster than marijuana taken by mouth. How can marijuana affect symptoms of cancer? A number of small studies of smoked marijuana found that it can be helpful in treating nausea and vomiting from cancer chemotherapy. A few studies have found that inhaled, smoked or vaporized marijuana can be helpful treatment of neuropathic pain caused by damaged nerves. Smoked marijuana has also helped improve food intake in HIV patients in studies. There are no studies in people of the effects of marijuana oil or hemp oil. Studies have long shown that people who took marijuana extracts in clinical trials tended to need less pain medicine. More recently, scientists reported that THC and other cannabinoids such as CBD slow growth and/or cause death in certain types of cancer cells growing in lab dishes. Some animal studies also suggest certain cannabinoids may slow growth and reduce spread of some forms of cancer. There have been some early clinical trials of cannabinoids in treating cancer in humans, and more studies are planned. While the studies so far have shown that cannabinoids can be safe in treating cancer, they do not show that they help control or cure the disease. Relying on marijuana alone as treatment while avoiding or delaying conventional medical care for cancer may have serious health consequences. Possible harms of marijuana. Marijuana can also pose some harms to users. While the most common effect of marijuana is a feeling of euphoria, high, it also can lower the user's control over movement, cause disorientation, and sometimes cause unpleasant thoughts or feelings of anxiety and paranoia. Smoked marijuana delivers THC and other cannabinoids to the body, but it also delivers harmful substances to users and those close by, including many of the same substances found in tobacco smoke. Because marijuana plants come in different strains, with different levels of active compounds, it can make each user's experience very hard to predict. The effects can also differ based on how deeply and for how long the user inhales. Likewise, the effects of ingesting marijuana orally can vary between people. Also, some chronic users can develop an unhealthy dependence on marijuana. Cannabinoid drugs. There are two chemically pure drugs based on marijuana compounds that have been approved in the U.S. for medical use. Dronabinol, Marinol, is a gelatin capsule containing delta-9-tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, that's approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, to treat nausea and vomiting caused by cancer chemotherapy as well as weight loss and poor appetite in patients with AIDS. Nabilone, Sesomet, is a synthetic cannabinoid that acts much like THC. It can be taken by mouth to treat nausea and vomiting caused by cancer chemotherapy when other drugs have not worked. Nabiximols is a cannabinoid drug still under study in the U.S. It's a mouth spray made up of a whole plant extract with THC and cannabidiol, CBD, in an almost 1-to-1 mix. It's available in Canada and parts of Europe to treat pain linked to cancer, as well as muscle spasms and pain from multiple sclerosis, MS. It's not approved in the U.S. at this time.